Have I ever talked? No, I think I have talked about this before a stream. One time I was like watching VTubers who had like 1 or 2 views out of curiosity, and I was watching a VTuber who was like streaming to an empty chat, and then she was like, okay, I'm gonna turn off stream now, bye everyone, and for a second she like accidentally showed her webcam, and she was just in her bra in her kitchen, and she was like, oh. I was like, oh my god, should I say anything? Should I say anything to the bra kitchen game Twitch streamer? Just I went on to say nothing. The bra gamer. Hold on. The bra kitchen gamer. I feel so sad when I see someone streaming to 0 viewers. I think, how should I put this? I don't feel sad about it. I think it's fine. I guess I've not had like, I guess I've had 1 viewer being myself at certain points streaming, but I was just enjoying streaming. But I can probably see it becoming like very, I don't know. Maybe you would get really bored of streaming over time if there was no one in chat, right? So it's hard to say. I've been having fun when it's just been me, but that's also because I only focus on having fun, kind of. More so mean when we're like still talking and acting as if there are chat members and people watching them. Right. I think that's a good thing. I prefer that to someone who's like 0 viewers and not talking and they're just waiting for someone to come in. Because that way I can actually like talk and chat. But it has been, this is the thing that annoys me more, is when I have been the only viewer in chat and I'm the only guy talking and they just like ignore me, and it's like, what the fuck? why are you streaming? I'm like engaging with what you're talking about and you're just completely ignoring me. Okay, bye, I guess. I don't know. Mentally can be tough. I can imagine that for sure. It's been happening to me a bit. I've just started turning off a view count thing. Yeah, I do sometimes get a bit in my head about it, which like sort of like I can have like anywhere from like 7 viewers to like 12 viewers to 19 viewers, sometimes lower, sometimes higher. And when it does drop, I'm kind of like, am I doing something like bad? Am I like is there something wrong with my settings and streaming? We can get more, not gonna make it than this. There are streamers who don't talk for 1 minute. There are streamers who don't talk more than once per hour, just quiet. Yeah, I mean, it's not really like, I don't know, I feel like I don't know enough about streaming to comment on this, you know? But I do feel like, for me, there's no difference between me streaming to no one and everyone. Even though for sure I do get it, because I also get in my head about it. Says guy streaming, yeah. I do try to focus on, like, whenever I get, like, nervous about, like, there being no people, or too many people, or anything like that, then I do just come back to the thing of, like, I'm just doing this for fun, and it doesn't have to be anything at the end of the day. I would stream if I had at least 5 people in the chat. Talking alone is weird. I think I've never been, like, too bothered by it, but I do get why you would feel weird about it at the same time, you know? If you're thinking about it, isn't it because you feel you don't know? I don't know. I don't know. Just because of the videos, too. I feel like making videos and making streaming is kind of, like, different. Where it's kind of like, I don't know, I never felt it's just weird to say. I don't think I've ever felt connected to my audience as a result of making YouTube videos, but that sounds horrible to say. But I've never been able to, like, chat with anyone as a result of me doing a YouTube video, you know? So I think that's why I've learned to appreciate streaming. Damn, I fucked this up. I've learned to appreciate streaming a lot, where it's like, oh, I'm like actually like engaging with people. And a YouTube video can get like 1 million views. And I feel detached from anyone watching it, even though people are leaving comments. I'm kind of like, yeah, I don't actually know, like, what the average person thinks about this. Or like, anything really. So it's a very different like thing for me. Maybe it depends on the kind of YouTube stuff you do also. You can stream just fine if my friend is in chat, but if you can't make attention not want to stream, that has changed some recently though. Yeah, I get that. Like, I can see myself streaming for no one or anyone, but I can also see myself getting, like, aggravated over time with it. It's like, damn, is anyone watching? Is this worth it? Am I wasting my time? It's really hard to say at the end of the day, I think. There was a time when I was watching a VTuber and I started thinking, I wonder if there are people who only watch indie VTubers and not corporate ones. Then I realized, damn, most people need a manager or something. Wait, what? I wonder if there are people who only watch indie VTubers, not corporate. Well, that's me. You're talking about me. I'm right here. I mean, Masters, obviously, yes, but that makes me think, damn, they can't figure it out. Yeah, I guess it's kind of weird in that sense also of, like, some... I can kind of see what they mean. Because they probably only watch corpos. So to them, the idea of someone only watching corpos might be a novel concept, where they're like, I wonder if there's anyone like that. Like, I honestly don't really like when someone has a corpo in mind for streaming, and, but that's probably, like, expected from my taste, and you probably know me enough to know that already. But I don't really vibe with streamers, or, like, I'm trying to be an idol, and I'm trying to do this and that so I can join a corpo. Why? I guess it's probably because, it's not... I don't think I even mind when a streamer has, like, large chat. I think it's more like, there's a different vibe that I vibe with, where I like the talkative stuff, and I don't mind a large stream as long as it's within that talkative stuff, or like someone just vibing and doing bits. I vibe with streamers who are kind of like Jerma, Northern Lion, Bark Skeletor, Vinesauce, and I don't get that vibe from corpo VTubers. If there was a corpo like that, then I would be all over that. But there just isn't. Yeah, I agree with whatever you're saying, Matthias. Not seeing a Twitch Turbo ad right now. Damn. That's all it takes. Running ads over and over again, so I can say anything I want, and there's no controversy about it. The ad gamer. I mean, there probably would be a market. I mean, I'm already kind of that with my starting screen. Boo! Turn the ads back on. What about me? I'm ready to game. Play the ads, ad gamer. Yeah, I don't know if I have any like super strong feelings about like streaming and VTubers and overcoming anything, or doing things in a particular way. Because at the end of the day, I'm sort of just like, I kind of know what vibe I like, and I'm aiming for a vibe more than anything. And the vibe, I'm an opinionated gamer, the vibe is just sort of chilling, talking bits. Funny. What would you do if you hit 1,000 viewers and chat became emote spam? It's hard. I would probably try to like, okay, I could have just done this the whole time. God damn it. I think if my chat ever became too big, I would probably do the same thing that I'm doing right now. And I would try to reason it into like, okay, like, I have to pick I just have to pick from whatever I can see, basically. Like, I think at one point when you get too big as a streamer, you have to treat chat as one single entity. And that's why people just say chat. Because they're just like, I can't read a single name. I don't have time for that. No, I'm a single individual, not a conglomerate of ideas. The conglomerate gamer when confronted. Yeah, I don't know, I guess I am like, it's hard for me to talk about like streaming and stuff like that, where it's like, what is best when you're a low view chatter? Because I kind of have like a really good viewer base in a weird way, where it's sort of like, I'm regularly around like 7 to 19 viewers. And that's not too bad really for Twitch, like that's kind of good. It's not the high, but at the same time, it's kind of like, it's not the lowest of low either. You have CCV showing. What is CCV? Concur. Oh, yeah. I do have it showing. I wouldn't say I'm too bothered by it, but it has, I don't know, at times it has been the case where I've been like, I would be kind of concerning if I had like too many people watching. But I think now I'm kind of past that fear, where I'm not too bothered by that idea. It's probably the most I could manage. I'd be worried of having too many people at once. Yeah. I think now I'm used to streaming where I probably would be able to like handle a lot of people, and I kind of know what vibe I'm going for and all that. Got pretty nervous when you rated me. I had 18 viewers. All this. sorry. Whoops, sorry. And I also have a jump start from having a YouTube channel, so it's hard for me to give like advice from a clear perspective also. When it goes down there, I don't... Oh, wait, it respawns? Wait, this changes everything. What the fuck? I thought once I lost it was gone forever. I thought I had to keep this one thing safe. What the fuck? You saw it respawn twice. I know. Did it? Oops. I could have sworn. I don't know. I thought I had one thing. Oh, Miyamoto, you genius. He's a puzzle mastermind. Someone even told me, like, it respawns. I think Spaghetti Face told me that. And I was like, no, I don't think that. I just rejected that immediately. I was like, no, I don't think so. I did tell you that might be. It was you, right, yeah. That was Rafa. Damn, who the hell was it? I guess we'll never know. I just rejected that. Like, no, they wouldn't do that in a Zelda game. But yeah, it's hard to give advice like, just have fun, just have fun. It's not always going to be fun. And I kind of felt that, I guess I can say I felt that a bit recently. I was kind of like, questioning, just like, do I have my priorities straight with streaming? I was getting a bit too in my head about it with like, I don't know, like, am I doing something wrong? Because I kind of felt like, I don't know, am I doing something wrong? I guess was the question. It's hard to say, but I think I just have a different vibe. I'm not decided yet what to think about things. It's that easy, huh? This is a beautiful room, it's so damn blue. I think it's okay to have a hobby and take it a bit seriously, where it's like, okay, I'm setting myself up for something that could lead somewhere. But if that doesn't mean you can expect it to be a success, right? I think I was getting a bit in my head about it, where I was kind of like, should I be, like, more popular? And I know that I don't think that's, like, something you should be, like, too concerned with, also at the same time. But it might be worth questioning, does that make any sense? Where it's sort of like, you can think about it and be like, it doesn't really matter, as long as I'm having fun. But also, am I doing something wrong? Or am I doing something, like, what should I consider? It's still worth considering, even so. I'd like to be showing new games to actual people, not just talking to myself, that'd be nice. Yeah, I think that is like, I guess that is something that I was thinking about also in relation to like numbers and popularity and stuff like that. Like I'm streaming Ocarina of Time right now, and I'm like, damn, this is a really good game. This is just as good as I remember it, if not better. Then you never know, like 1 year from now, it could be the case that I have like a bigger audience, and they're like, stream Ocarina of Time! It's such a good game. Matthias, have you ever streamed Ocarina of Time? It's like, damn, I already streamed that. Did I waste my opportunity? My mentality is sort of like, you can kind of stream the same games over and over again, and it's no big issue. Like, all the games that I've streamed on this channel before, I might end up streaming again, because everything brings out a different opportunity to do something different, and talk about something different, and do something different, and play in a different way. I don't think anything stops you from playing them again, yeah. Maybe it would be really boring if, like, all I did was play Pikmin 4 over and over again. But I'm like, damn, Pikmin 4 was a really good and chill game, and I know that it's a good game to, like, chill and vibe with. So I know from my perspective it would be worth it to play again, just to have fun. And I think even Ocarina of Time, I could play this... Maybe that would be also a bit annoying if I'm only playing it to have fun over and over again. I'm not trying to do, like, speedrunning or anything like that. I'm just like, did I don't remember this. Did I do this last time? At which point would you just talk over recording playing Ocarina of Time for the 5th time? I don't know. What the fuck is happening here? Oh, the boots. The boots. Your boots, man. Don't see I'm smart. I know. See, Ben drowned. Does boot? Wow. I went all the way back here. Yeah, so I could experience this corridor right here, man. Now I'm gonna take my time and appreciate this place now. I put so much time into this, I have to make sure it's good. It was a good corridor. I mean, I like this, you know? Look at the textures on this. Take a screenshot to remember. I think I'm streaming it. It is a cool place, yeah. Look at how the texture varies from blue to light blue to a darker shade of blue, a little hint of gray. Then you have a great contrast value of different light sources, which adds variety to every single texture. How often do you watch your own streams, though? I do watch, like, I kind of, like, it varies. Like, I watch my own streams to clip it on my clip channel on YouTube. So I do watch it, and then I put it up there, and I'm like, this might be worth... I don't know, I guess I do it partly because I'm just like, I want to be able to, like, have something to look back at in the future. Even if no one ever watches it, I'll have something for myself, you know? So I do watch my own VODs, and I think that's helpful for, like, any streamer, if they want to improve, to be like, wow, watching your own VODs. So you can be like, what is happening on my streams, you know? But I think a lot of people also go kind of crazy doing that. Okay, I've had enough of this corridor now. No, look. We haven't even talked about the water here. Look at how clear the blue is, you know? It's a really nice shade of blue. And where's the stream of water coming from, you know? That's pretty good, I guess, yeah. You also go, wow, as you watch your VODs. Sometimes I go, wow, I'm really not funny. And sometimes I go like, wow, I'm the funniest person alive. And it's kind of interesting to see also, because like, I don't know, me playing Link's Awakening, I was thinking about that as if that was like a different lifetime, where I was like, damn, I was such a different person back then. And then I looked at my clips channel, that was like 3 months ago, and I was like, what the fuck? That felt like it was like a year ago. That felt like it was like, I don't know, at least half a year ago, and I had a different model and everything, different background, different Haneo on the screen. I was like a different man back then, you know? You do your Mario voice as you stare into the mirror, as if to motivate yourself for the rest of the day. Well, last time I tried to do my Mario voice, I somehow failed at it, and I've been embarrassed by that since. So I've just been like, damn, I have to practice my Mario voice. But I think I've lost my ability to do my Mario voice now. Mario looking into the mirror, repeating his daily affirmations. It's-a me, Mario, wahoo! No, I got it back, baby. I got it back. I'm a so back. That's good enough. Good enough. I think, genuinely, I think part of why I enjoy streaming is because I do clip my own stuff. And I like the idea of having stuff to look back on. And I like the idea of being able to clip it. I guess this is sort of like advice, good advice for anyone who wants to get into streaming. Which is, I think you have to realize that, like, getting discovered on Twitch is, like, kind of, like, impossible. Like, you're... like, I don't know. I think this probably was helpful for me, where I sort of decided from the get-go, like, I think it's actually, like, impossible to get discovered as a streamer on Twitch purely by the platform alone. So I think you kind of have to do something else with that, because it's not a very good platform for finding streamers. And every streamer that I like, I've probably found through YouTube. Like Germa, and Vine Sauce, and Joel, and Northern Lion. And very frequently, I'm probably watching them more on YouTube than on Twitch. If I'm on Twitch and I see them streaming, I'll be like, hell yeah, I'm gonna watch that. But if I'm just like on my PC and I want to watch something from them, I'll just go on YouTube. And I think part of why I've never been like too upset about me streaming for myself is because I've been able to save my own bits of me talking about myself. I mean, you can find this very early on in my clips where it's sort of like me talking about like my Japanese grandma story. And I'm like, there's nothing happening in chat because I'm just talking to myself, you know? And I might have done other things like that. I can't remember which other bits other than that one. Which sort of like, wow, the chat is completely empty and Matthias is just talking to himself. Which has been like, yeah, I have, even though nothing came out of that Weiss, I had something else that I got out of that. But it's very difficult to give that as advice also, because it is so time-consuming to do that kind of stuff. When it comes to clipping, I always find it hard, because I never find myself to be particularly funny. Yeah, I think it's sort of like, I can go more into this. It kind of depends on your streaming style, I think. Because I don't necessarily only clip stuff I find funny, but sometimes it's like, oh, it's kind of like an interesting kind of thing. I think it's very, very difficult to give that as advice. Like, if you have 0 views, just clip yourself. Start a clip channel, though. Because that can also feel like... that could possibly feel even more embarrassing, right? Where you're just like, you have a clips channel full of clips with no one watching it and empty chat. But I think maybe I'm mentally messed up where I would be happy with that, and I'll be like, yeah, I like this. You clip a lot of anecdotes rather than funny moments. Yeah, but I like that. I can talk more about that. Which sort of like, there are things which are funny to me, which are not necessarily laugh out funny. And there are things that I like talking about, where it's sort of like I want to show off what I like to talk about. The anecdotes have the funny sauce, I would say so. I could see someone just being like, this is not funny. How long was the shopkeeper stuck in there? It's a good question. Everyone's dead except for him. Welcome. Okay, he had nothing else to say. I thought he maybe would comment on his odd situation. But no, he's fine. It's fine. There is a story which kind of blew my mind. And it's sort of like, it affected my mentality around a lot of what I make. And a lot of like what I enjoy. Not really, it kind of put more a pinpoint in what I enjoy, you know? Or, how should I put it? It affected how I do storytelling and how I clip things. Also, you know, how I make stuff, I would say. And it's the story of, like, Gilgamesh and his friend, whose name I can't remember. What was his friend? He's not really super important to the story. But basically, this is one of the oldest tales in mankind's history. Gilgamesh changed my life. Yeah, he really did. The story of Gilgamesh. Oh my god, it's all coming together somehow. What the hell? One of the oldest stories of mankind is of King Gilgamesh. And he is the ruler of this kingdom, Enkidu. Yes, that's his name, Enkidu. And basically the sum of it is, Gilgamesh is best friends with Enkidu. If we want to get even more deep into it, then they are rivals to begin with. They are deep rivals. They are enemies. They have a fight. And somehow they just become friends as a result of that fight. And they're like, actually, we're best buds now. That's just how it goes, right? Sometimes you're just like deep rivals. And then you go from that to best buds for life. However, his best friend Enkidu dies. He dies. Shown in anime be like that, yeah. So his best friend Enkidu is dead after fighting this bad guy together with Gilgamesh. I almost called him Gilgamesh. And this breaks Gilgamesh's heart. I mean, he is torn asunder. His best friend is dead forever. And he becomes keenly aware of how short life is, and how he also will be dead one day. And this sort of breaks his spirit. Where he's like, how do I go on with anything? He is the king of a kingdom, and his best friend is dead. What is even the point to anything? What's the point of living? So he decides he's going to find, like, the source to become immortal. Because he can't handle the concept of him becoming dead one day. And he decides to seek out a trial where he's going to become immortal. And he goes out and meets a sage, and the sage tells him, like, this is such a horrible idea. Like, becoming immortal is such a bad idea. You shouldn't do it. But if you really want to become immortal, all you have to do is sit here and stay awake for 7 nights. And I will give you the next step. And he's like, easy, I can do that, easy. That's so goddamn easy. Stay up for 7 nights, I can do that. And he falls asleep immediately after the first night. Stay awake for 8 crazy nights, yeah. And he falls asleep immediately. And he's like, what the fuck? What the fuck? That was supposed to be so goddamn easy. God damn it. And he immediately falls asleep. Then he goes to meet the next sage, and they tell him, like, okay, all you have to do is go to the bottom of this lake, swim down there, and you will take a flower from there and give it back to me, and I will teach you how to become immortal. And he's like, that's so goddamn easy, I can do that, that's so damn easy. So he does it, he goes to the bottom of a lake, he swims down there, he grabs it, and he's like, damn, I did it, I'm gonna be immortal. Then on his way back, he sits down, and a snake eats the flower. And he's like, what the fuck? I put all this effort in, and it led nowhere. And a snake ate my flower, the one thing that was going to make me immortal. This was my one shot. And then for the third last trial, he just gives up. He doesn't even do the last trial. He just goes home. And he's like, God damn, like, I'm hopeless. It was all going to be so easy. And it's all so hopeless. Like, everything is dumb and stupid. He doesn't even bother doing the third last trial. He goes home. And he's like weeping and mourning his whole way home until finally he sees his kingdom in the distance. And he breaks down and he's on his knees and he's crying and he says, my God, I took it all for granted. And I don't know, something about that story just deeply resonated with me in a deep way. Where it's not a story of someone making a triumphant, like, victory. It's not a story of someone overcoming something greater than, I don't know, being able to become immortal or whatever. It's someone having to, like, grasp with their own mortality, failing at it. And the end conclusion is as simple as, like, oh, I've learned to appreciate what I had before. Like, I've learned to appreciate all that I took for granted. Something about that deeply affected me. Where I kind of felt like, this is kind of like, maybe this is a horrible comparison, but to me that's kind of like, well, you're saying Berserk, but I would compare it more like to Nichijou, my favorite, or one of my favorite anime, Nichijou, Where, like, the gag of something like Nichijou might not be laugh-out funny. It might not have you rolling in laughter, but it can be something absurd. And then it brings you back to reality, and you take things, like, less for granted, or you take a more better look at life in a weird way, faced with absurdity. And the same thing for, like, other kinds of, like, comedy or storytelling, like Yotsuba, where sort of, like, you can have, like, a little girl go on a weird journey where she thinks she's, like, fighting a robot, and it's just someone in, like, a cardboard costume. It's this kind of weird thing that might not even be funny in, like, in its pure aspects, but you can appreciate it for what it is, and you can come back from that being like, I kind of have a greater appreciation for life. And maybe this is, like, too deep to think about something like YouTube or clipping or a clip channel, but it makes me want to set down things of, like, I want things which sort of, like, make me appreciate things in a wider sense, even if it might not make the viewer come out of a single clip of me talking about, like, here are my thoughts about Tomodachi life. It might make me go like, yeah, I kind of just respect the fact that I can, I don't know, just do anything and then come out of this. I don't know how to put this into proper words, but more like, it gives me something where I appreciate things as a whole, maybe. So yeah, that's my reasoning, as weird as it might be. Does that make sense at all? But yeah, Gilgamesh changed my life. We're just like, yeah, I have a great appreciation for storytelling, which sort of brings you back to appreciation. And that's not always, like, a great story or comedy. Sometimes it's just like, yeah, I like the reflection of just being able to reflect on anything, or talking about anything. Let's go, I'm done working, happy Friday. Let's freaking go. Hello, Melon. How Gilgamesh changed my life is gonna be the title one of this one, guys. Everyone seems to be turning evil, chatter. I don't go into any bit or anything going like, this is gonna be a good clip for my clip channel, because I think that would be, like, a really dumb way to do it, because then everything would just fail. Like, if I had everything planned out. At the end of, I think the best way to approach it is just being like, yeah, whatever happens, happens, you know? I go into every stream being like, it would be fine if nothing came out of it. That's not why I'm not too worried about it. But yeah, I think you should not go into any stream being like, I'm gonna get so many funny clips out of this, because you're just gonna have a bad time streaming. You should always focus on just having a good stream as priority number one. It's better to have a good stream with no clips than a bad stream with a bunch of bad clips.